Kuthodaw Pagoda is located just east of Mandalay Royal Palace in the north part of Mandalay, very near the Sandamuni Pagoda, Atummashi Monastery, and Shwenanda Monastery. The pagoda opens daily from 8 am until 8 pm. The main entrance to the grounds is the ornate gold and red south gate, which is adorned with the sculptings of deities and animals from Buddhist and Hindu mythology. The gate is topped with several multi-tiered pyathat roofs. From there, a long covered corridor leads to the stupa at the center of the grounds. At the end of the corridor is a pavilion enshrining an image of the Buddha. At the center of the complex is a gilded pagoda measuring 57 meters tall. The pagoda was built in 1859, modeled on the Swazigum Pagoda in Bagan. Its bell-shaped stupa rests on a base of 3 square receding tiers. At the 4 corners of the pagoda are 4 large golden chinte, mythological lions that guard the pagoda. On each side, a stairway rises to the base of the bell. The pagoda is topped with a large multi-tiered T, an ornamental spire shaped like an umbrella. On top of a pole in front of the pagoda is a gallon, Garuda, a bird from the Buddhist and Hindu mythology, grabbing a Naga serpent. Next to the pagoda is a small, elegant, open pavilion housing a Buddha image in the calling the earth to witness posture, seated on an elaborate pedestal. Kuthodaw Pagoda was built by King Mindon Min as a part of the traditional foundations of the new royal city of Mandalay in 1857. Kuthodaw Pagoda contains the world's largest book. At first glance, Kuthodaw Pagoda in Myanmar's northern Mandalay city may not look like much of a book. Spread over 5.4 hectares, the Grand Temple Complex, formerly known as Mahalavaka Marazain, features a gilded stupa surrounded by 730 whitewashed shrines built on a grid. Each one of these shrines contain a marble tablet inscribed with the pages of the Pali Canon. The complete set of Tripitaka in Theravada Buddhism, making the sprawling compound the world's largest book. Inscribing both sides of over 700 stone tablets with holy scriptures and building all the shrines to house each marble slab was no mean feat. King Mindon commissioned the project in 1857 as an act of great merit. Kuthodaw means royal merit in Burmese. Spurred by the looming threat of a British invasion, the ruler wished to preserve the Tripitaka for posterity by setting it in stone. Senior monks and lay officials meticulously prepared the text for the tablets using the palm leaf manuscripts from the Royal Library for reference. The final text was carefully copied onto marble by scribes and then chiseled out by stonemasons before being filled with gold ink. Standing at about 1.5 meter tall, with a width of 1 meter, each marble slab fits around 80 lines of inscription per side. In total, the stones makes up 1458 pages of the Tripitaka written in Pali using the Burmese script. It took a little over a decade for all 729 slabs to be completed, as well as one additional tablet inscribed with a record of the entire process. The finished tablets were officially opened to the public in 1868. The whitewashed shrines housing the tablets are called Choksagu, which translates to stone inscription cave, arranged in neat rows with path in between. The shrines are numbered starting from the innermost western enclosure and radiating out clockwise from there. When they first constructed, each choksagu was topped with a golden T, a traditional umbrella-shaped ornament encrusted with gems such as rubies and diamonds. However, during the Third Anglo-Burmese War in the late 19th century, Kuthodaw Pagoda was ransacked and badly looted by the British. The choksagu were stripped of precious stones and bells. Even the gold ink engraved on the marble tablets had disappeared. Following the retreat of the troops from religious spaces in 1890, restorations were slowly made with donations from the public. Sadly, bringing the temple back to its full former glory was a nigh impossible task. The precious gems were unable to be recovered and cheaper materials had to be used, such as black ink for the stone tablets instead of gold leaf. This Sandamuni Pagoda is located on the foot of Mandalay Hill in the north of Mandalay, just northeast of the Royal Palace and a short walk from the Kuthodaw Pagoda. The Sandamuni Pagoda houses the largest iron Buddha image in Burma, named the Sandamuni image. The image was cast in 1802 by King Mindon. Made of almost 41,000 pounds of iron, it is now covered with a layer of gold. The image was moved to Mandalay from the old capital Amarapura. Also brought over from the palace in Amarapura were 18 statues of Arhats representing the 18 Arhats, the first followers of the Buddha who lived with the Buddha some 2500 years ago. They are now enshrined in smaller stupas around the main pagoda. Surrounding the central pagoda are 1774 shrines, each housing a single marble slab. The slabs are inscribed with the teachings of the Buddha, consisting of Sutta Pitaka, Vinayaka Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka, the three baskets that make up the Tripitaka, as well as commentaries and sub-commentaries. Each slab, measuring 1.68 meters tall and 1.07 meters wide, is enshrined in a small white shrine named Dhamma Zeti, Dhamma being the teachings of the Buddha and Zeti the Burmese word for stupa. The white shrines are topped with a T, an ornamental spire shaped like an umbrella. The grounds are more cramped than the nearby Kuthodaw Pagoda. Little space is left behind the rows of Dhamma Zetis. The Dhamma Zetis were built several decades after the central Zeti. They were erected in 1913 by U Kanti, the hermit, who is known in Burma for having renovated a great number of Burmese temples and pagodas.